Hi Zohaib, very nice to see these new essays from you. Let's get right into your corrections and see what you did. So, some people think that universities and colleges should concentrate on the history of their own country rather than the history of other parts of the world. Let's see what you said. Experts throughout both the developing and developed world have debated whether the history of other countries should be part of the educational course of students of the country. Some believe that educational institutions should only focus on the history of their own country rather than history of the other nations around the world. Personally, I strongly disagree with this view, and in this essay I will argue why, without the that, learning other nations' history without of is as important as knowing the history of your or our own country. Okay, that's fine. On the one hand, there's ample evidence to suggest is how we do this, okay? There's ample evidence to suggest that there are lots of benefits learning history of a nation. Which nation? A different nation or the nation of your own nation? So this is not clear when you just put a nation. It could be any nation. So the central reason behind this is twofold. Firstly, one may learn from the past mistakes and it helps them not to repeat those mistakes. For example, United States, plural, and UK are, well, not one, they're actually two countries, are two of those countries whose history goes back many centuries without end, and there are, or in the past, okay, let's try this again. So, for example, the United States and UK are two of those countries whose history goes back many centuries, and there have been many past ups and downs. So, because of that, both countries without the here, higher officials, you could have put an apostrophe after the S, higher officials learn from their past mistakes, and now both nations are well developed and powerful in the world. Okay, let's see, that's fine. However, okay, it's fine. However, remember that it's talking about colleges and universities concentrating on this. So I have a little bit of a question mark because here you're talking about both countries' higher officials. So maybe you should have again tied in this whole idea of universities and colleges, okay? Because that's what this is about. You didn't make any mention of that at all. All right, anyway, let's move on. So on the other hand, there is a case for studying world history without the apostrophe S. The impact of understanding events, plural, of nations cannot be overstated. The citizen of a nation, one should learn about history of their own country to understand the sacrifices that made by national heroes for betterment of the nations. Okay, the grammar here has managed to confuse me. So this paragraph apparently is talking about the benefits of learning world history, but this doesn't make any sense. What does this mean, the citizen of a nation? And then you're talking about one's own country, and then national heroes. But I'm not following this argument at all, okay? And the grammar makes it difficult to really kind of understand. All right, moving on. This is largely because people will learn culture and the culture and traditions of their ancestors, plural. For example, if students failed to learn about world history and the events that occurred in the past, such as the Industrial Revolution and Holocaust, the majority would miss a valuable lesson they teach. So these are two separate things. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that studying own and world history has benefits too. Okay, so thus it is possible to state beyond a doubt that studying one's apostrophe S own history and world history has benefits too. That's how you want to do this. Now, I have to be honest with you. I actually had to read this paragraph a couple of times. The reason is because your central argument was not clear. I had no idea what the main idea was until I actually read that last sentence. So what it's missing for me is, first of all, a clear opening sentence where you're saying essentially what the main idea of the paragraph is. And I was really confused here because you're talking about one's own nation, which is strange to me because you already talked about it. And then you were talking about, again, this issue, and then their ancestors, and then all of a sudden, this whole paragraph really had some problems. Then, check this out. Here, you said, this is largely because people will learn culture and traditions of their ancestor. Of their own ancestor, I assume you mean. But then you say, for example, if students fail to learn about world history. So I was so confused. I mean, why are we talking on the one hand about our own ancestors, but then in the next sentence, your example is talking about world history. So there's really a lot of confusion in this paragraph, and it's difficult to really kind of suss out that main idea. I pretty much figured out what the main idea was just in that last paragraph, but I have to be honest with you, the development of this is has some difficulty for the reader. Okay? What you really should have focused on up here, history of other parts of the world. I mean, to what extent do you agree with that? Do you agree that we should focus on our own history rather than the history of other people? And you basically have to say, you know, why that would be correct or why that wouldn't be correct to do one or the other. So you went a totally different route in that second paragraph, and there was some trouble with the development. Okay? So, in conclusion, the arguments and examples given from is missing here. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that studying world history has more advantages than national history. It is predicted all institutes will give more emphasis to world history in the future and will increasingly grow in importance. And it will grow. Okay, so then essentially, according to what I read, your conclusion is something totally different, because I understood from this paragraph that you think the study of both is what should be the goal. And then your conclusion says something that, oh, no, only world history. So there's a lot of different things going on in this essay. So it's one I'd like you to revise appropriately. So let me take a look at your next one. Okay, and here it is. It's the University of Albion with the missing exam. So you had 4 things to do here. Let's see how you did them. Dear Sir or Madam, I am writing this letter in response to your letter about my absence from the Management 1 exam, which was here conducted on May 23rd, 2018. My name is Zohaib Karim. I am a graduate student with student number this and case number this. Firstly, I would like to sincerely apologize. You have to write the verb form. You wrote the noun form. For failing to inform the university of my inability to attend my exam last week. On the examination day, I suddenly had fallen sick. My parents had to take me to the hospital, and I had to be admitted. I had to be admitted as soon as possible for treatment. No the here. As informed by the doctor, I had to be in the hospital for 5 days for daily observation. Again, no the. I was discharged from hospital today, early morning, during which, well, no. I was discharged from hospital today, early in the morning. How about, therefore, I was unable to notify the university regarding my inability. Okay. Oh, no. Unavailability is fine. Till today. I have a doctor's letter and hospital bills as evidence, which is given with this letter. Okay, fine. Once again, I apologize for the situation. If possible, I would like to request you to grant me permission to retake the exam on another day, or, if possible, to be given the estimated mark by the course professor. I'm looking forward to hearing ing from you. Yours faithful, Zohaib Karim. All right, so some grammar stuff, obviously. Let's see if you did the 4 things you're supposed to do. Yes, number 1. Yes, number 2. Yes, number 3. And what's really exciting for me is yes, number 4. Now, why do I say it's exciting? Because look at the way this is worded. It says possible resolutions, plural. And that's exactly what you did. You gave 2 resolutions. So you said retake the exam or be given an estimated mark. It's exactly what you're supposed to do. And I have to be honest with you, most people miss this. They only give 1 solution. So I'm very glad that you did that. Okay, so there were some good elements to this essay. For me, the weakest point was some of the grammar. But you had some nice vocabulary, so well done. Now you just need to correct these essays, add the errors to your error correction list, send them back to us with your next essays, of course. I'll let you get to that then, Zohaib. And I'll be waiting to see what you write for us next, so good luck with your writing.